Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Truth and Brightwater, a novel by Thomas King. Thomas King is a Canadian author and academic. Thomas King, and Truth and Brightwater is a coming of age story. The novel opens with a description of the Shield, the river that both divides and connects the American border town Truth and the Canadian reservation Brightwater. From the bridge that crosses the river, it's possible to see two of the most distinctive landmarks of the area, that is, the abandoned church and the two stone pillars called the horns that rise from the river and touch a nearby cliff. Tex Shea is a 15-year-old boy who lives in Brightwater with his mother and his dog Soldier. Tecumseh and his best friend Loom witness a woman in a truck driving out to the horns, performing a dance, and then throwing a suitcase from the horns into the river. The woman herself then jumps. Tecumseh and Loom run down to the river to see if they can find the women, but the only evidence of a fall that emerges is the contents of the suitcase, which is a skull with a red ribbon wound through it. Tecumseh tries to talk to the adults in his life about the jumping women and a skull. The first person he approaches is his mother, who is a beautician, but all he learns from her is that she is planning on spending some time at her mother's place in Truth because his sister Cassie has returned to town. Loom then tries to tell his father Elvin, who lives in Truth and is estranged from Tecumseh's mother. Elvin and his friends Miles, Deerfork, and Ski Gardabe do not pay attention to Tecumseh's story, too taken with the news of the return of Monroe Swimmer, a famous artist who grew up in Brightwater but left years ago. Tecumseh tries to speak to his father again when he is not with Miles and Ski, but they become involved in a conversation about the wooden figurines Elvin is making to sell to white tourists at the Indian Days Festival. Unable to get through to his parents, Tecumseh goes outside in search of Soldier, who has run off. While exploring the priory, he finds himself over by the old church, which Monroe has recently purchased and inhabited. The artist is very different from what Tecumseh imagined. He wears a wig, sometimes uses a wheelchair, and appears to be painting the church such that it blends into the landscape around it. Monroe offers Tecumseh a job for the summer, assisting him in his work, and Tecumseh readily accepts. Tecumseh's mother takes him with her to Truth to see his grandmother and his aunt Cassie. Cassie regales them with stories of her travels abroad, but soon the conversation turns to Monroe's return and his connection to Cassie, and the women send Tecumseh outside so he can't learn about this part of their family history. Since none of the adults in his life listen to his questions about the jumping women, Tecumseh moves on. He helps Elvin move goods, some of which may not be legal, across the border, and Elvin teaches him how to drive. Some of the goods they are transporting are pieces of equipment from Indian days. Tecumseh drives these directly to Franklin, the chief of the tribe, and Loom's father, who is setting up for the celebration. Afterward, Tecumseh heads home and overhears a conversation between his mother and Cassie about whether or not Cassie is going to talk to a man. Tecumseh never hears the man's name. They also refer someone called Mia, whom Tecumseh doesn't know. He sees his mother give Cassie a suitcase full of his old baby clothes. Tecumseh calls Loom and they agree to meet up later to talk about this and about the jumping women. Tecumseh goes to work with Monroe, who tells him that he works in painting restoration and that his work has often focused on returning indigenous people to paintings they were removed from. Tecumseh tries to question about Monroe's connection to his mother and Cassie, but Monroe deflects. Later, Tecumseh meets up with Loom, who is testing out the motorcycles that Franklin brought in as a recreational activity for Indian Days. They head to the river and Tecumseh notices that Loom is badly bruised because Franklin bet him. Loom isn't interested in discussing this. Instead, he tells Tecumseh to come back to the river with a sleeping bag so they can spend the night looking for clues about the junking women. The next day, Tecumseh heads to his grandmother's to help her set up a tipi. They discuss the fact that Tecumseh's mother is auditioning for a role in a local production of Snow White. His grandmother does look at the skull, but she can only tell Tecumseh that it came from someone young who lived a hard life. That night, Tecumseh heads down to the river to meet Loom. Loom seems erratic as he plays with the skull near the cliff's edge, which frightens the soldier. Tecumseh, concerned, gets him away from the cliff and they wander down towards the church. Through the window, Loom spies Monroe having sex with the women, but by the time Tecumseh looks, there is nothing to be seen. Tecumseh heads to Monroe's the next morning, where he plays Monroe's piano. Tecumseh and Monroe discuss the role of art in preserving memory. Later, Tecumseh heads to Indian Days, which has attracted everyone in Truth and Brightwater, as well as a significant number of white tourists. Tecumseh sees his father, dressed as Elvis, selling his wares. Monroe is also there, but in disguise because he doesn't want to be recognized. However, Loom is absent from the proceedings, which is odd because there is a race scheduled that he has been training for all year. Tecumseh deduces that Loom's injuries from Franklin's beatings have become prohibitively severe. Tecumseh searches for Loom, finding him sleeping outside later that night. Loom's injuries are worse than they were before. Tecumseh offers to let him stay with his family, but Loom, in a stormy mood, declines. The next day, Tecumseh heads to the church, where he helps Monroe move everything that had been inside of the building to the outside. Monroe starts a fire that attracts the locals. He then proceeds to give away everything that he had been inside of the church. Tecumseh, having pieced together that Cassie might be pregnant and might have had past relationship with Monroe, asks her about Mia. But all Cassie tells him is that Tecumseh never knew Mia. Cassie burns a suitcase full of baby clothes in the bonfire. After everyone leaves, Tecumseh helps Monroe organize what's left. He finds a box with Monroe's wig that also has a skull, and Tecumseh realizes that Monroe was the jumping woman. Monroe confirms this and explains that he has been reclaiming the bones of indigenous children from museums he works in and returning them to Brightwater. The two go out to the river to return the skull and they encounter Loom. Monroe leaves the two of them alone and Loom, badly hurt, talks about how well he would have done at the race. Tecumseh tries to get him to come home, but Loom runs along the bridge with Soldier following him. Loom and Soldier fall from the bridge to their deaths. And here ends the story. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.